Hey everybody, how are you? Dr. Stephanie Stroud with Cornerstone's Pet Tip of the Week. Tonight we're talking about those perfect babies of yours, those new kittens that you guys are bringing into your house. So this week already, it's only Monday, but I've already seen 2 new kitten patients today. And so it's the time of the year when I'm actually seeing a lot of new kittens. So I wanted to just give you guys some tips for introducing new kittens into your house, especially for those of you guys who already have cats in the household. So if you have never introduced a kitten, or maybe you have, and so you already know the joy of this, sometimes cats can be very particular about their homes, okay? And so introducing a new cat into the household, there can always be a lot of stress that goes along with it. Some cats will get along right away, and then there's some cats that take a long time to adjust. So if you are one of those in a household where you're really frustrated and you feel like your cat's taking a long time to adjust, I can tell you that it can sometimes take anywhere from 9 to 12 months for a cat to adjust, and that can be perfectly within the normal realm, okay? But let's talk about some tips you can try to do to help reduce the stress for your current cats as you are introducing in that new perfect baby. So the first thing you want to do is when you are looking to get a new kitten, or you've gotten a new kitten, before you do anything introducing them into the house, you need to take that kitten to your primary veterinarian so they can do an examination. They can check for feline leukemia, FIV. Those are viruses that are highly contagious and can potentially spread to your other cats, okay? They also need to check for ear mites, fleas, internal parasites such as roundworms, hookworms. Those are all things that kittens can have and that can be transmitted to your cats at home. And so you want to make sure that you have a clean bill of health, or if you know your kitten does have some problems, they are being addressed as you're bringing them into the household instead of just throwing them in there with your other cats. So that's the first tip, is go to your primary veterinarian, establish the health status of your new kitten so you know what's going on. Even if you feel like they're perfectly healthy, you need to get that kitten into your primary veterinarian so they can be established as the patient, so that if an emergency or anything like that comes up, you can easily get to that place, as well as so your veterinarian knows what that kitten looks like in a healthy status, okay? So we always want to have a baseline so we have an idea of what's going on and what's normal for each individual patient. So that's the first tip. The second tip is do not just throw the kitten in with your cats into the household, okay? And so I always recommend, even if they look healthy, even if your veterinarian gives them a clean bill of health, to keep them separate in the house to start. And so I do not recommend them just being thrown in the living room together. I recommend keeping your cats that are already in the house, let them kind of do their thing, have their free roam like they normally do, and then put the kitten in just one room. Maybe that's the bathroom, maybe that's your bedroom. Put them whatever room you want, and only let the cats have nose-to-nose contact under the door, so they're starting to get some of that smell, some of the pheromones, and everything along those lines. As your cats get used to each other, which again, this may be a week, this may be several months, you can introduce them into where they are actually in full contact with each other under direct supervision first. You don't want to put them in when you're not supervising, because you do not want them to get to fight, to cause wounds, anything like that, okay? So always we introduce them nose-to-nose contact under the door, then we do direct supervision. After a few weeks of doing direct supervision where you see they're getting along, then you can let them more do free roam and do their thing, okay? And so the second step, or the second tip, is basically slowed progression of introduction. Okay, the third step I have, which is actually really good and probably should be in the order of things you should do. So your first thing you should do is talk to your veterinarian. The second thing should be the tip I'm about to give, and then the third thing should be the one I just gave, just to cause some confusion for you guys. Sorry about that. So the third tip that I would recommend is to get a pheromone spray called Feel Away. That's Feliway. Okay, so this is a spray that's actually supposed to be very calming for cats. It is the pheromones that mom cats put off, and so it's very calming. There's different brands. You can have multi-house Feel Away spray, you can have Feel Away stress, And so we use them here in our practice as well in the veterinary hospital, especially over in our cat lobby and in our cat rooms, because we find that it just helps to reduce the stress level for these guys. You can get an individual spray, but you can also get it's a diffuser that plugs into the wall, just like a Glade plug-in or anything like that, to keep your house smelling good. You and I really can't smell it, but the cats smell it, and so I would recommend getting those. You can easily find them online, you can find them on pet stores, and so that is something I always recommend in multiple cat households, just because it helps to reduce the stress and doesn't give them the need, or they don't feel the need as much to establish a pecking order. Okay, so those are my tips for introducing your new perfect baby. Again, number one, you want to go to your primary veterinarian and establish their health status with the new kitten. Number two, I would get that feel away spray and diffusers, and I would set those up in your house before you brought the new kitten in. And then the third tip is that you do a slow progression of introduction, where you are actually letting them have nose-to-nose contact under a doorway. Then you do direct supervision contact, and then you, as they have gotten used to each other, you can do it where they are just hanging out with each other. Again, some of these guys will adapt in a couple weeks. Some of them can take 9 to 12 months. So whatever you do, don't get frustrated. Just realize that some cats are different. Each personality is different. And so it just takes time. Okay? All right. Well, I will see you guys next week. Thanks for joining me here. If you want to watch our previous pet tip videos, you can find them all here on our Facebook page. You can also find them on our YouTube channel, Cornerstone Animal Hospital, or you can find them on our website, actually, www.cornerstonevet.info. Go to the About section and then go to Videos and Pet Tips. The website is an awesome resource for you guys. It has blogs on it that talks about different things, different care, and there's some other papers that have been written by several of the doctors here that talk about some different diseases. So, all right, I hope you guys have a great night. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.